this algorithm, FizzBuzz, is a pretty cool one, and one you'll see a lot if you're interested in learning about algorithms. And what it does is it takes in a parameter, in this case a number that you would put in, and it'll look at the number and it will loop through starting from 1 all the way up to the number, and it's just going to basically log out each number. But if the number that it's currently looking at is divisible by 3 or divisible by 5 or divisible by 15, change the data type to a string. So and it uses FizzBuzz. So if a number is divisible by 3, log out fizz. If the number is divisible by 5, log out buzz. If it's divisible by 15, log out FizzBuzz. Otherwise, just log out the number. So let's set that up. I always like to invoke the function down here. I'll call the function first. So the argument we'll pass in is 32. And again, so n represents 32 in this case. And we're just going to loop through it, and we're just going to create a variable where we're going to store each increment of the count that's going to lead up to 32. So with while loops, we're looking at a condition in these parentheses here, and while it's true, do the code that's in their block. So while true, so while count is less than or equals to n, do the code, and then we're going to increment count by 1, right? So we'll do console.log count, and I'm going to show you what happens here if we don't increment. It doesn't change. It's 1 remains constant, and it's just doing an infinite loop. That's what happens with loops. So we have to increment. We have to say count plus plus. So while this is true, do the code, increment by 1. So 2 is less than or equals to 32. Yes, do the code. Increment by 1. 3 is less than or equals to 32. Do the code, increment by 1, and so on. Now, watch. There it is, 32. Alright? So, what code are we going to put in this little guy? We got to do the data type conversion from a number to a string, right? So we're going to say if count modulus 15 equals 0. Modulus is an operator that is just like divide, except it doesn't return the quotient, it returns the remainder. So if the current count, let's say, is 15, so 15 goes into 15 one time, so 0 would be remaining, and we're going to log something out. We're going to say console.log FizzBuzz. Else if, otherwise, if count is divisible by 3 by saying 0, console.log fizz. Else if count is divisible by 5, right? Console.log buzz. Yeah. Else, otherwise, console.log what? Count. Just log out the number. Alright, so let's see that. There it is. 3, right? 5 goes into itself once, FizzBuzz. 6 is divisible by 3, so we have fizz, right? 9 is divisible by 3, we have fizz. 10 is divisible by 5, so we have buzz. 15 is divisible by itself, so it's FizzBuzz. And 30, you have FizzBuzz, because 15 times 2 is 30. Good. So that's basically our situation. Now, how do we make this a little more special? Well, maybe we could eliminate the amount of console.logs and just do one flat out return value, so it should go a little quicker. So we're going to create a blank string at the top, and we're just going to set these little guys up here and be like, see these little ticks? That's ES6 FizzBuzz. And those little back ticks there just enable you to put in variables. You're still working with a string, but you're putting in variables there. All right. So fizz backslash. There it is. Buzz. Ah. Okay, good, great. And then the last one is going to be just logging out the number, right? The end just kind of creates a line break there, right? So let's run that and see what happens. Okay, so we want to return the string. That's the thing that we want to look at. Run. We still get an empty. Why? Because when you want a string to add on, you have to do plus equals. And run. Okay, there it is, FizzBuzz. Alright, so we're not doing console.log each time here. We're just creating a string, we're building a string, and we're just returning it like this. And it's FizzBuzz. It's a lot of good stuff in here. You know, these are techniques you could use in other places.